All right, what's up, guys? So I just want to drop a quick video real quick. I wasn't gonna make this video, but in a world where everybody just seems like anybody, people just seem like people. You just going about your day, and just everything just seems so mundane and uh, usual or casual, right? But we come across people sometimes. We have relationships where we think initially, right? Initially, you'll think this person that you meet is just another person in the crowd, not too special, not too different from anybody else. So you don't really think too much of this person, right? But then they change your life. And a lot of you guys, that's you. Now, I'm going to bring this back too because it's personal, but I'm going to relate it back to you because I know it's a lot of people out there that's different. And sometimes I have a pleasure of meeting these people. You know what I'm saying? But I've been told crazy things. I've been told that, how unique and different I am. But I'm like, I don't really see myself as that special or different from anybody else. I know I'm unique, but it's like every time people tell me that shit, I'm like, what are you talking about? So a lot of you guys watching this content, you have that same gift to where you're not afraid to be yourself. You're not afraid to express things that most people see or say is strange. You dress different. You wear your hair different, right? You're original. You're not afraid to spend time doing what you want to do. You're not always doing what everybody else does. You're not at the clubs all the time. You're not rocking the same kicks as everybody else. You're not even thinking the same. You don't even have the same language. You don't speak the same way everybody else does. So when you come into people's lives, they're like, whoa, they just hit. You just shift people's energy. You change how they think. You change how they see themselves. And for me, I've had that impact on people's lives. And I've been hearing that for a while now. It's like, how can you be so different? They want to know what I'm reading, what I'm studying. But I'm not doing anything different from anybody else. I just really tapped into my original self. Because when you go through a period, I went through a period of time. This is around the lockdown. I went through a period of time of deprogramming myself. I realized the person that I've been or become and the person that you become is really a conditioned version of you. Like a lot of people walk around, they're not even themselves. They just conditioned. You're conditioned to think the way you think. You're conditioned to eat certain types of foods. You're conditioned to view the world a certain way, to look at people a certain way. You're conditioned to follow a certain religion. You're conditioned to think a certain way when it comes to romance, when it comes to dating, right? When it comes to time. Like I look at time differently too. Like I look how people use their schedules, and my mind just goes outside of this world. And that's because deep down inside, and I know you guys feel this too, right? Deep down inside, I know and I feel and I sense that something about this fucking world isn't right. It's not right. Like things just don't feel right. And it's been an awakening going on with a lot of people. And I see a lot of other content creators out there that's tapping into the intuitive nature. They're tapping into their intuitive gifts, their spiritual gifts. And they're able to pick up on the energies. And I feel like, things are really shifting in the world. I feel light. I've been feeling really light lately. And that's because a lot of people are doing really well right now. A lot of people are waking up. They're becoming enlightened. And a lot of you guys are losing the fear of this world. You're losing the fears of this world because for so long, the society wants to condition everybody to be afraid. You're afraid that you don't have enough time. You're afraid to lose your job. You're afraid that you're not going to get a job. You're afraid of death. You're afraid of living. You're afraid of what people think, their opinion and judgment from others. You're afraid of not making the right decision. It's just all this fear. So without even realizing it, by deprogramming myself, I released and removed and just, I gave the world back all these fears because it doesn't make any sense. What's there to be afraid of? If I'm a creation of God and I'm on this planet, this world is my home, right? I'm a human being on this planet and the world is my home. Why? There's no fear because I'm already at home. All I'm here to do is use the tools and the resources of this earth to do what I want to do, to make the impact that I want, to produce what I want, to create what I want. So there's no such thing. Like, why would you be afraid of anything? You're not afraid to live, or you're not afraid of being alive right now watching this video. So why are you afraid to die? That's just another part of life. So I'm just saying that, or I just kind of ran on, but I say that all to say, when you come into people's lives and you have this different perspective as an awakened person, as somebody that thinks outside of the box, somebody that's not afraid to think for yourself. And that's all that means, is that you're the type of person, you're not afraid to think for yourself. Most people, I remember through schools, through high school, college, jobs, different environments, when you get around a little clique of people and say y'all hanging out, y'all smoking, whatever, y'all going somewhere, y'all out and about, a lot of people are like, they're afraid to say what they actually think. They don't want to seem like they're too far outside of the box because they might look too different. They might look strange or weird. So a lot of people try to mold themselves after what they see everybody else doing so they can fit in. And I was around that energy and I kind of tried that, but I can't, it's like, yo, I feel uncomfortable doing that. Honestly, like I feel really uncomfortable doing that because it just doesn't resonate with me. I have to speak the truth, or at least my truth. What's the point of being in a relationship with somebody where you're not really fully being yourself? And I'm not saying you can't, that you should reveal everything about yourself and be all super vulnerable. I'm not saying that at all. You got to practice discernment. You can't trust everybody with your words. You can't trust people with everything that you think. But what's the point of being in a relationship and just to be another person? Like you're not really being original. What's the point of living and doing that? Like suppressing all these gifts and all this authenticity and all this originality God gave you. You're an individual. So I hit a lot of people with that. When I start talking like this, like how I'm sharing these things with you guys, or how I kind of perceive the world and how I kind of broke out of my conditioning, people be looking at me like I got two heads. They look at me like I'm an alien. They're like, yo, what planet are you from, bro? And it's like, I'm not afraid to be outside of the box, man, because I never really fit in. I did fit in, and I do fit in. What I mean by that is, I'm the type of person when I walk into rooms, a lot of people say, I fit right in, or I'm able to meet people and create friends easily. The other day, I met this brother. We had a store, and this dude, we just had a quick conversation, man. A lot of people don't. It's hard to make friends nowadays because a lot of people kind of, I don't want to say standoffish, but I want to say a lot of people are reserved, and people, you can't trust people nowadays. But me and this brother was just talking, and he worked for this weed company out in New York. It was like, man, bro, yo, you cool, brother, man. Let me give you this. He gave me a pen, a bag, an edible, a this, and I'm like, damn. And it's like everywhere I go, I'm like that. I have that effect on people, and you do too. This is the point. It's like you have an effect on people to where you open people up. You make people feel welcome, even though they're not at home. Y'all outside, you at work, you at the gym, whatever you talk. And when you arrive, your presence make people feel like, damn, I feel safe. I feel like I can be myself. And that's the key. Because when I learn how to be comfortable with myself, when I'm around people or when people are around me, when they're in my presence, they feel like they can lay their hair down and be themselves too. They could be original. They could kind of express themselves because it's like what they said about Tupac. They say Pac was a certain way in the streets, but he'll get around certain people. He'll get around people that are actors or people that he grew up with or whatever the case is, and he'll just turn into Tupac Shakur. You know what I'm saying? He'll just be who he really is as a human, but then when his ass get on a block and get in the studio around these other rappers, now he Pac. A lot of people do that. We have different personalities when we're around other people, which I try not to do. I try my best to stay away from that. You know, you don't want to show up and be a different person. I want to be myself. I want to be truthful, stand in my truth and be grounded in my truth no matter where I go so that everybody can have the same experience. And it's like a lot of y'all know y'all know what I'm talking about, man. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You affect people differently. You resonate with people differently. You change people's lives and you're really unforgettable. That's probably going to be the title of this video. You're unforgettable. You're that one person that people came across. Initially, they thought you was just another person that they just met and came across in life, but you just hit them differently. You open their eyes. You change their frequency because you're able to inject them or raise their frequency and vibration because you vibrate high. They probably was vibrating low. Now you come into their life, you're confident, you're powerful, you feel with all this positive energy. You've been doing your mental work, your spiritual work, you've been working on your body, doing a lot of self-care. So now you vibrating high, now you're able to lift other people just by being in the same room with them. Just by being in the same room with people, you can elevate their frequency. Now they go on and live their life, and because they met you, they all of a sudden they find a check instead of a bill. They get an opportunity. They get another job. They meet new people. The energy in their life changed because you came in it. People tell me the same thing about myself, and sometimes they don't tell me, but they look at me with a smile like, damn, I need this person around because when they're around, when Randy's around, all of a sudden good things start to happen. People tell me that, brother, you need to come around. You need to keep coming around. You got that good energy. You got that good energy. You got that. You got that good energy. You know, a lot of y'all have good energy. Y'all are good people out there, but you got to protect that because a lot of people that don't have good intentions towards you, they'll want to come in your life and take that energy and use it to empower themselves, but leave you with they stink ass energy. Now you wonder why things ain't happening right because they try to energy swap. They try to swap your energy. There's people out there that study this. They study root work and all type of weird spiritual stuff. So you got to protect your energy. And even if people are not on that type of time, there's a lot of people that just want to come in and just take that and extract that. Sometimes ruin it. A lot of people don't like that you have good energy because they don't know how to build that themselves. They don't know how to get to that point. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to look at their flaws and insecurities and pains and traumas and work to heal and go in a period of isolation to really find themselves. Right? But y'all are unforgettable. Y'all are unforgettable, man. It's crazy. So hit the like button, subscribe. Y'all are unforgettable. Drop a comment below. Have a good night. Peace.